Hello everybody, welcome to our live cast today. Super excited to have you with us. Some areas just aren't great for real estate investing, and perhaps the houses are too new or too expensive, there's not enough opportunity, or the neighborhood has crime, vacancies, vandalism. There's plenty of opportunity to find beat up houses, but very little market to resell them. It could be a variety of things. So today, what I want to talk about, the first thing you do before you even think about finding deals, and that's picking an area that's ripe for fix and flips. That's what we're going to talk about today, is how to find the very best areas to be investing in. That's what we're going to chat about. All right, how to find the very best areas to invest. Some things we're going to be covering today. A finding tip, we're going to be talking about area stats. This goes right into our topic. We're going to be talking about the basic principles of choosing an area to invest in, how I failed choosing the right area when I first started in investing, and a deep dive into a few other specific things that I want to talk about, you should know. So today's agenda, we're going to do our welcomes and updates, jump into real estate news, our finding tip of the week. Our topic of the week, we'll announce our t-shirt giveaways and our free tool of the week. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial moves, consult with a real estate professional, attorney, CPA, or other professional in a specific subject matter. Everybody's situation is different, and there's no one size fits all. DHM may receive payment on the show from sponsors in the form of guest books, items, giveaways, discounts, other remediations. As with anything in life, results come from education, following a system, hard work, and determination to follow through until the end. All right, for all of you that are with me, please give me your name and the city and state you're investing in. Type it in the chat. I would love to say hello. It's great to have so many of you with us today. Don't be shy, don't be bashful. Type your name and the city and state where you are investing. Now, at the end of today's live cast, we'll be announcing last week's t-shirt winner. And then this week, starting from here on, this next week's t-shirt winner will be announced next week. So keep an eye out, because you may be our t-shirt winner of the week. Please, for all of those that have been t-shirt winners, please post a picture of you in your shirt on our Facebook page. So you wearing the shirt, post on our Facebook page, DoHardMoney, facebook.com/DoHardMoney. That is what we are talking about. Okay, who is interested in a free t-shirt? Who wants a free t-shirt? If so, type in the chat here, I want a t-shirt. I'm looking for people that are asking great questions, and every single week we choose one winner. Now, currently, guys, we are at 6,180 subscribers. A big thank you and shout out to our amazing YouTube subscribers. My goal by the end of this month is to get to 6,360 by the end of October. So I'm looking for the end of October. That's a typo. So I'm looking for 140 new subscribers. So if you are listening to me now and you're not a subscriber, please go hit that subscribe button, type it in the comments and say, hey, Ryan, I am your newest subscriber. I would greatly appreciate it. So there are new videos that I upload every single week. So we do the live cast every week, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we also take that and turn that into a recorded video. So we take the best of this and make a recorded video. And then every single week I answer a specific question, like find, flip, repeat, or 10 flips a year. So questions that you've asked or other people have asked, and I put that together, and I put together a video on a weekly basis. If you'd like to have me answer one of your questions, all you've got to do is go to one of these videos, watch it, type in the comments, hey Ryan, do a Just Ask Ryan video on this, and we will put that into queue and get working on it. And one of these days you will see it. And if you want to know when that comes up, what you need to do is hit that bell notification. If you hit that bell notification, each time I release a video or do a live cast, you'll get reminded. It's a great way so you can remember we are live and ready to go. And hit that subscribe button. The highest compliment you can give me is telling somebody else about this. That's just all there is to it. So for those that stay to the end, I'll be giving away my property value analysis, which you're going to want to get your hands on. Helps you determine what the property's really going to be worth. Now, there's a lot of talk. Should we be preparing for a housing crash? Will there be a housing crash in 2021? The majority of experts think there's not going to be. I look at it as a phase. The market is cyclical and there may be some signs of correction, but it won't be nearly as bad as 2008. What's the difference from today and 2008 is the people who are qualifying for loans are actually qualified. So according to Yahoo, I'm expecting the market to begin to cool off, but for it to be more of a plateau than a crash. However, I'm always looking for how I can be prepared just in case something drastic actually happens. We'll talk about some of the 10 most overvalued housing markets, Boise, Idaho, Austin, Texas. We've got a few more in here to be aware of and some things that you should be thinking about in those areas. A couple of things. What's next for real estate? Well, a little bit mixed. I'm having a hard time finding economists that feel like we're going to see a downward trend. Most of them are feeling like we'll be about a 5% increase, or worst case scenario, about no increase, but staying leveling off as compared to last year. And that feels a little weird when you're up 15%. Or 20% last year and 10% the year before. So, those are some things that we have to take a look at and be aware of. Okay, guys, we are going to jump in. I'm going to jump through this and get into... Okay, let's jump into our finding tip of the week. And we're going to be talking about understanding the area statistics and what you need to know about it. Understanding market trends in the areas. We're going to talk a little bit about price changes. We're going to talk about rental price changes. We're going to talk a little bit about new listings. We're going to talk about listing trends. We're going to talk a little bit about sales trends. These are things that you need to be aware of in areas before you decide if it's an area you should be investing in. And one of those things is number of pre-foreclosures as well. You're also going to want to take a look at average days on market. This is the time it takes you to resell the property. So if the property is going to be, take 60 days to sell and you are only planning on 30 days, you're going to get yourself into some trouble. If you're planning on 6 months, but it really takes a year, you could get yourself into some trouble. So this is really important. It can also help you know if your property is taking longer to sell than other properties are in the area. It's good to know what average monthly rents are. This can help us know what a landlord could expect to get. And then estimated cash flows. This can help us if we're trying to wholesale that property or during a BRRRR type deal where we buy, we renovate, we rent, and then we refinance. Or if it's a rent-ready rehab. Those are all things that we could be looking at. Another thing to look at is list price versus sales price. This basically is what did they list it for and what did they end up getting? What the difference there is the negotiation or how much they came down. One of the things I also like to look at in areas is days on market versus investors. This tells us how much inventory there is, as well as homes that have sold, to give you an idea of opportunity, how many homes are actually being sold in that area. If there's very few homes sold, that's a problem. It means something's going on to the area. There's not enough buyers. It means that the area's not big enough. There's a lot of things that can be happening there that we've got to keep our eye on and make sure. Now, understanding statistics in determining will really help you determine and narrow down in the area that you should be looking at. There's a market for it. Is there people buying and selling houses? Should I spend time trying to find homes in these areas? A little bit of a rough idea of what to expect in value and an idea how long it will actually take to resell the property. These are really important as you're deciding what area am I going to go into. Estimated rental returns can be important as well. So let's just take a look here. I'm gonna just, let's jump over to here and let's talk about Chicago just because it's on my mind. And it's what I put in the slides. So there we go. Okay, so let's look in Chicago. Now, as we're doing this is going to be a lot better if you're using zip codes rather than using a full area, okay? So, because it is going to be, there's going to be variation there, and it's important to know what that is. So normally you just put a zip code in here, but let's just get a good feel. I'm going to go for the last 6 months, okay? Last 6 months, we're seeing prices go up, rents are going up. You can see price per square foot's been going up. Average days on market. You can see the average days on here seem too long to me. 133, 134. That's probably because there's some outliers. That's why I would want you to go to the zip code specific. This is average rents. And this is basically what's happening with the market trend, what's happening with listings. What we're seeing, average list price is going down, average per square foot is going down in the last 30 days. But if we look at the last 6 months, it's going up. So you can see there's been some changes in there. Sales trend, we're seeing the average sold price is actually going down and average days on market is actually going down, but inventory is becoming fewer and fewer. So those are some things that I think you've got to be aware of in making a determination as to what area you should be going into. Whoops. All right, big shout out to Stephen Bartholomew. Stephen, thanks for being with us today. Now, the question that I typically get asked is, hey, how do I know? Like, how do I know what statistics I should be looking at, what I shouldn't? Well, these are statistics you should be looking at, but how do you know if it's good? I'm basically looking for red flags. If I see some things that are red flags, I'm gonna say, no, this isn't the area. It's gonna be really different area to area. I think you just wanna look at it and say, is there a potential concern here? And if not, go ahead and move forward with that area so you've done just a little bit of due diligence. All right, guys, let me grab a drink. We're gonna jump into the main event. Okay, how to find the best areas to invest in is what we are going to be talking about today. What we're going to be covering, the basic principles of choosing an area to invest in, how I failed to choose the right area when I first started investing. I'm going to jump to a deep dive into the specific things I look for when finding the very best area. So, ways to find the best areas to invest in. First off, when I first got started in real estate, I would spend months to find a really good deal. Okay, I'd go out there, I found a property, I'd look at it and I'm like, hey, this is a great deal. And the problem was, I get excited, I call a hard money lender and I'd say, hey, guess what? I found a deal. And do you know what the hard money lender would say to me? They'd take a look and say, you know, I don't really like that deal. Well, why not? Because I heard that there was some gang violence in that neighborhood on the TV, or I don't like it because it's on the south side of the street instead of the west side of the street, or whatever the case was. So this happened a few times, and then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna get smart here. So after these experiences, I was feeling pretty discouraged, like, am I ever gonna make a deal happen? But I didn't give up. What I did is I got smart, okay? And what did I do to get smart? Instead of looking for homes that worked for me, I went to the hard money lender and I said, what works for you? What are you willing to lend on? So I'd say, what do you want to lend on? What areas do you like to be in? What do you not like to be in? What are things you want and don't want? And then I got their shopping list, basically. And then I went out there and I found property that was in the sandbox they like to play in. I said, great, I'm gonna go find what you're interested in, because I don't wanna go find out what I want. Let's find out what you want and merge that with what I want, and then we can make some deals happen. And once I did this, things changed drastically. Now, good hard money lenders are hard to find. There just are, especially if somebody will lend the purchase and some of the rehab or all of the rehab. Those are very, very hard to find. It is easier to find a new area than it is to find a hard money lender that will lend the purchase some or all of the rehab. So let's jump into some of these property specifics and things that we need to be aware of. Now, FHA loan limit is what you want to know. What is the FHA loan limit in your area? The way you can do that is simply just grab, just Google what's the FHA. Let's just look here. FHA loan limit in Chicago, Illinois. What are we looking at there? FHA loan limit in Chicago, 2022 limits in Illinois. Let's just see here. So it's going to be by county, and Adams County. I think Cook County is. Cook County, $420,000 for a 1 unit. So if you're in Cook County and you're wanting to invest, I would not recommend that you have your end sales price more than $420,000. And the reason is because an FHA loan, somebody's gonna buy it from you, can't get a loan for more than $420,000 on an FHA. Now, they could get a conventional, they could get jumbo, all that type of stuff. But what I'm going after is your regular home buyer. So I want to be under $420,000 in my resale price. Now, what if in your area it's more than $420,000? Well, what you want to do in that case is you want to be at $500,000. Don't go over that $500,000. You want to be max out at the FHA loan limit for your county that you're investing in, or $500,000, whichever is less. That's the big thing here. So FHA loans are the easiest to get. And as we're talking about areas, this is a big deal, because if the average in the area is $1 million, that is not an area you should be looking to go to. FHA is the easiest loan to get. It requires the least amount of down payment. It is the best type of loan for somebody that's had some credit challenges, because the whole idea with this is to try and get people to have home ownership. That's why it's the Federal Housing Administration. The idea is the government is incentivizing people to buy houses because better communities are made of homeowners, and they're trying to do that. So you want to make sure that the area you're going to invest in meets these guidelines, okay? You look at it, we talked about Cook County, and you know what's happening. That says 379. That must be old. But you get the picture here. What is it? What can they do? And look, you're looking for the 1 units. Don't look for the duplex, 3plex, 4plex. Just look for the 1 unit. FHA will do a duplex, 3plex, 4plex, but that's not the figure you want to be using when you're looking at what's the max I want to be reselling my property for. Now, a quick pro tip on this is, remember, this is the resale price, not the purchase price. So if it's $420, you need to purchase the property for a lot less than $420 because you need to make a profit. You need to have money for repairs. You've got to have money for closing costs and hard money lenders and all that type of stuff. So you need to make sure that resale price is no more than $420,000, which means you're buying that for $300,000 or $320 or $250 or whatever that number is, depending upon the amount of repairs. Now, the other thing I want to jump into here is just rural, okay? Be careful of rural properties. That can be a big problem. So be careful with this. And let me tell you why. When you're dealing with rural properties, it's not enough to know your hard money lender is willing to lend in the state. You've got to be careful of these rural areas. So how do you know if something's rural? Well, anytime I see Highway 121 or State Road 75, that type of stuff, I am like, this is in the boonies. If the mail does not get delivered there and you have to mail to a P.O. box, if the population of that town is small, like less than 20,000 people, if you're dealing with dirt and gravel roads. Now, why is rural something we need to be concerned about? Why are we looking at rural and say, why is this difficult? Because if it's a small economy and there's very few buyers and sellers, then there's not a lot of market activity. You want to be careful about that because you want to be somewhere where there's a lot of market activity. The other problem you're going to run into is services. You're going to have a hard time finding contractors, especially if one contractor messes up and you have to find a new one. It's going to be hard to find good real estate agents, hard to find good property managers, and the list goes on and on. You want to invest where there is the most opportunity. That is really what's important, and we find that out by looking at where cash sales are happening. So look in there and we say, hey, by zip code, where are the most cash sales happening? Which basically means somebody's paying cash for that property in the last 12 months. This is how many properties have been sold with cash. And the way that we can do that is with Investor's Edge. You can put in the county, whatever county you want to put in there, and you put in the state, and then you can actually search and see how many cash buyers there are. You can do that by zip code and say, you know what, there's a lot of cash buyer activity, which we're basically saying that we're assuming that means there's a lot of investor activity, which means I've got a lot of opportunity to be selling my property, because the person that's buying that either is renting it or they are turning around and flipping it. So that tells us there's activity for investors happening in the area. The other thing you want to really look at is owner-occupied. When we deal with non-owner-occupied, investors that purchase properties is non-owner-occupied. The other thing you look into is mortgage information. You can say, hey, I want cash buyers. Who paid cash buyers? And I can put that in the included list. And then I can do last date of sale, and I can say, hey, in the last year. Property characteristics, you can put whatever you want, single family, condo, duplex, if that's type of stuff that you're into, and your estimated value, you don't want to exceed that $500,000 or your FHA single family maximum, whichever is less. And also a loan limit, I would put $75,000 actually, not 50. There's not a lot of lenders that want to do less than $75,000. So something to be aware of and figure that out on a zip code basis. Investor's Edge can be a big help for that. Now let's talk a little bit about marketing. My properties. My marketing, click on lists, hit the check boxes, and this is actually how you export that. So you can get the list of actually cash buyers. So you can save that list and then you can save it to a Google Drive. I'm gonna jump through this because this is some technical ways of actually doing this with pivot tables, and I don't think this is something that we need to go in detail with right here. So, and then we're determining the actual state, and we're determining the actual county. We're selecting which ones have the most equity. We're adding those in, as well as saying within the last 6 months or year, whatever is gonna be best for you. Now, purchase lists. This is a partial list. And so you're going to want to select customers, put in the zip codes on this, and you can view the highest records for there, and you can see what's happening with your exports. So you can really determine where are the most cash buyers actually happening in your zip codes, and those are the ones that you want to be focusing after. I think that's probably the biggest tip, is to go where the fish are. If you know that there's cash buyers in that area and there's enough volume and you've looked at all the statistics and it's not a rural area, that is something you should definitely be taking a look at. All right, guys, property value analysis. If you'd like to get a property value analysis, this is a spreadsheet that I've been working on for 20 years and refining it, making it better, that we use on a daily basis to determine what is a property worth. And this can be a help to you. I will give it to you absolutely for free. All you gotta do is text your email address to 435-294-0433. Text your email address to 435-294-0433, and we'll send you out a copy of that. Now, if you're interested in some of the things we've talked about, you should check out our Find, Fund, Flip system. Go to DoHardMoney.com/get started, and you can check out our Find, Fund, Flip system. We've got funding, courses, resources, calculator software, and support. We've got it all. Now, if you enjoyed what you've heard today, check out my podcast called Income Hacker. You will enjoy it. You can listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, Alexa, you name it. Don't forget, text your email address 435-294-0433 so I can get you a copy of that property value, how to analyze that. Now, it is that world famous t-shirt giveaway time of the year, and our winner for this week, for last week's winner, not for this week's winner, this week's winner we'll be announcing next week, but for last week's winner, our winner was Jeff Wiley. Jeff, if you're with us today, I want to give you a congratulations of being our winner of the week. Thank you for all your participation. Jeff, what I need to have you do is email support@DoHardMoney.com. In the subject line, put that you're the t-shirt winner, and put your mailing address, cell phone number, shirt size, and we will send you out a free t-shirt. We pay for shipping, we pay for the shirt, the whole enchilada, and it is coming your way. Just get us that information over, Jeff, and it will be in your hands. Now, for everyone who's participated today, if it's been on here, to find out if you're gonna be the t-shirt winner, all you've gotta do is show up next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. We'll be talking about the 7-step guide to buying your first real estate investment. You're not gonna wanna miss this one. It is going to walk you through how to do that first investment. Now, one of the things that can really help you is getting that calculator, analyzing the values. And to do that, just email me your text me your email address to 435-294-0433. All right, guys, I really appreciate you being with me. There's a couple of videos you could check out. Why Hard Money is the Backbone. This is on YouTube. I'd recommend that. What to look for. So a couple of videos that I would recommend that you take a look at as well, going along with this topic. All right, guys, I really appreciate you being with me. Make it a very profitable day, and bye for now.